It was, if you know me very well, you've been around me, speaking and doing sermons is not my most comfortable thing. I'm very much more of a singer because I love to do it in melody than actually speak through things. So I was asked about a month or two ago to actually do the Mother's Day sermon, and I actually forgot. and, and then I came to choir practice about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were like, "Do you have your sermon ready for Mother's Day?" I was like, "Sermon?" Yeah, it was like, "You said you were going to preach." I was like, "Oh, goodness, okay." So when I preach about something, it's usually something that's come to me over time, something that's hit me one day, like a Bible verse, or I'm listening to gospel music on the radio. It's just something that's just kind of struck me that I really just want to talk about that message. Like, it has to be that thing where the Spirit's kind of guiding me into something. And so I was trying to figure out, what in the world am I going to speak about on Mother's Day? And then it came to me. There was a message I heard on XM radio one day, and they were reading this verse, and this whole thing came to me about sometimes we just need help. Sometimes it's just so rough. It's so tough. It's so hard that we need help. And then I had a brother of mine, he's actually here today, not my actual physical blood brother, but a brother of mine that had reached out on Facebook, and I won't call him out in the midst of the crowd, but he reached out on Facebook because he was struggling inside about the things that were going on in Baltimore, South Carolina, Ferguson. It was just tearing him up inside, and he needed help. He needed someone to be there for him because he felt alone. Have anybody felt like that before? Where you just felt alone? You felt like you've been fighting this battle, this struggle. You know I'm emotional, so I can't help but to cry. It happens every time I get up and grab a mic. But have you been in a situation, whether it's either been with your family, with your spouse, your children, your work, your health? Who's been in that situation where you felt like, I just need help? Exactly. We've all been in it. We've all been through that day where we've just been so tired and so weary, where you just felt like you weren't going to be able to get up the next morning, and you needed somebody to help you. I just want to go back and read this verse again. And I just want us to focus on kind of what the Spirit kind of led me with this whole verse. So if you know what happened before, this is when, the Israelites had been brought out of Pharaoh's grip and army, and they had just crossed the Red Sea, and they had gotten the manna, and Moses had struck the rock and got water. And now they're out, in this wilderness and going forward. And so now they have these Amalekites, kind of like your own battle. These Amalekites now, they've gotten past this one war, and they've gotten past the grips of this horrible, torrentious person who was all over them, and now they got these people trying to come back to fight them, to take over them. So it says, the Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites at Rephidim. Moses said to Joseph, "Come, some of our men, and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand." So Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses ordered. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. That's the beginning of your battle. You've been called to go out to fight this battle. Your doctor's giving you a bad health diagnosis. Your spouse is saying something you just don't like. Your children are talking back to you. Now you're getting ready to begin your battle, so you have to go to your hilltop and get ready to fight. But in this case, Moses is getting ready to go up here to let Joshua go to battle, where he's helping out with Joshua, and he's taking 2 people with him, Aaron and Hur. And the Bible reads, as long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning. But whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. Who understands what I'm talking about? You're fighting, your hands are up, you're feeling victorious. Then as soon as you just feel like everything is okay, all of a sudden it hits you again. And now what you're fighting against, you feel like it's beating you. Sometimes we need help.
Yeah.
Who's been through that?
Yeah.
I think we've all been through something like that. And then it says, when Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him and he sat on it. You just get tired, you gotta sit down. I just gotta sit down because I'm tired. I'm so tired of fighting. I have God on my side, and sometimes, you know what, I'll admit, sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's enough. That's the weakness of a human. I'm fighting, and I'm tired now. So I have to sit down. And then it says, Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady until sunset. Who here has had somebody in their life who had to be their Aaron and their Hur? Who here has been somebody's Aaron and Hur? Who here needs somebody to be your Aaron or your Hur? This message is for you this morning. This message is, you know, sometimes you just need help in your battle. Sometimes you just feel like you cannot do it by yourself. And that's what your community is here for. Your family is here for, to be your help. Can I borrow you two gentlemen for a second? I just want you to stand on one side. This is going to be my Aaron and my Hur. We didn't rehearse this, so. You're in your battle. I've been there. Been there a couple times. Been there more than a couple times, probably. I've just been so tired. I just get down and I'm just struggling because I am so weak. I feel like I can't go forward because I'm weak. And my Amalekites are now beating me. I felt like Baltimore. It's too much. South Carolina is too much. The AIDS epidemic in Africa is too much. Sometimes my family may be too much. Sometimes my job may be too much. And I gotta keep fighting. But I'm tired. I am tired. Who's been there? So I need my Aaron to hold up my hand because I can't hold it up myself. I'm so tired. I've been fighting this whole time. And I need somebody to hold up one side. And then I need my Hur to hold up the other side. So that I can win this battle. So that I can win this war. Because I can't do it by myself. My spouse has been there with me. My loving husband has been there with me through these situations. I've had friends who have done it for me. I've had my mom who's done it for me and family. Sometimes we just need help. Don't feel like you can't reach out to your brothers, to your sisters in this crowd, in this here, to ask for help. Because it can get rough. It can get tough. It can make you weak. It can make you want to give up. And you just need help. I said this message is for you this morning. This is for those who may be going through something this morning. I don't know who you may be. Sometimes, like Cecil was saying, you know, we're a little bit shy to put our hands up in the air and say we're dealing with something. But this moment is really for you. I just want to know, is there anybody here that needs help? That needs an Aaron or Hur to help hold their hands up through something? Is anybody going through something in this moment, in this day, that they need help? Is anybody out there? See Terry put her hands up. Willie has her hands up. Can I get somebody to help me be their Aaron and their her? If you're next to that person and that person has their hands up, I want that person to put their hands up who just raised their hands. I see 2, 3, 4, 5 out there. If you have your hands up, who here is bold enough to be somebody's Aaron and her? This is a moment for the family, the church community to get together and be somebody's her. I want you to stand on that side of that person. Go to that person right now and hold that person's hands up. Help them hold their hands up because they are in a battle right now. They are telling you that they are in a battle right now. They are struggling with something. They need a rock to sit on. They need somebody to hold their hands up because they keep fighting and they feel like they cannot